Well, congratulations, you got your real estate license. Now it's time to get to work. Now what do you do, right? That's the whole ticket. That's the whole thing. That's the question of the hour. What do I do now? Well, just know whether you're a brand new college graduate, just got that diploma and stepped off the stage, or you're a brand new real estate agent that just walked out of your real estate test, passed, ready to go, licensed realtor, it's the same thing. That college graduate that just stepped off the stage, if they're not planning to be a business owner and they're planning to go to work for somebody, they're going to have a boss. Whether you're a doctor, an attorney, whether you're planning to open your own restaurant, whether you're starting a construction company, going to work for someone in construction, doesn't matter what the job is, you're going to have a boss to work for. Your calendar is your boss puts you to work. Now you got to stick to that time clock. You got to stick to that calendar like glue. Otherwise, your boss should fire you. Well, we don't want that to happen. So if you stick to the calendar, you stick to your time blocks, you stick to your schedule, you can kind of help yourself from dealing with disruptors that might disrupt your day. The bad part about it is because you're the boss, sometimes you tend to skip out on certain appointments thinking, I just don't want to do that today. Well, unfortunately, you started a career that requires you to do things you're not going to always enjoy. But just know, whether you choose this career or you choose to go to work for someone else, there's going to be tasks you're going to be forced to do that you may not enjoy. It's just part of your job, right? You work for someone, they're going to have you do some tasks. So if you choose to be the boss, you're still going to have to put yourself through some tasks that you may not enjoy to do. And that might be calling your SOI. That could be calling for sell by owners or expireds, or door knocking, or calling neighborhoods, circle prospecting we call it. There's so many different ways, but no matter what you do, it requires one thing: contacts made. But I'd like to talk about the most easiest way for you to get your business up and going. Since you're a brand new agent just getting started, you want to contact your people. Now, you want to set it up in a strategic way to contact these people to make sure no one gets left behind. So step one is get them all together. Go through your cell phone and start creating a list of everybody you know by name and they know you by name. Those are known as your sphere of influence, or some call it the circle of influence. It's the people. I like to call them your biggest fans. It's the ones that actually like you, the ones that would recommend you. And just know these are the easiest phone calls because it's okay. It's okay to call them. They're not going to hang up the phone on you. They're actually going to talk to you. Even if you just started talking real estate business right now, 9 times out of 10, they're going to have a bunch of questions. So don't be afraid to call them. But here's the plan of attack. When you call them, enter them into a system and set an alert of when to call them again. Now, what is the system? Some call it a CRM, which is a customer relations management system. Back in the day, we used a filing system. I still have a filing system in my desk from back when I first started, before CRMs started becoming popular, where I would actually take a file. This would be my January file of everyone I need to call, because I would move it 6 months at a time. So these would be my June calls, and then I moved them to January. My February call would move to August, and every 6 months my SOI gets a call. Well, you need to do the same thing, but these days you have lots of amazing tools that help make it a little easier for you. Most CRMs, you can set an alert when to call you, when to call them again, and the system will alert you. When you sit down at the computer, it tells you who to call. So to set your system up correctly, first step first is get everybody together. Now, don't spend all day entering them in and then saying, I'm trying to enter them into the CRM first before I start making calls. That's an excuse. That is what we call a disruptor. Don't spend the day saying, you know what, I need to get my smart plans set up. CRMs do smart plans, where it starts sending emails out. So that way they all start getting touches right away. That's a disruptor. Don't let that happen. If you do, you're allowing the systems to get in the way of you doing what you do best, is what your true job is making contacts, connecting with people, reminding them and telling them that, hey, I'm a realtor. So what I suggest is get the names together, start entering them in one name at a time, but as you enter the name in, call them. Call them Leave a note about what that conversation was about, and then set an alert when to call them again, and then grab the next name, and on and on and on. So let's set a strategic plan to get started. Okay, let's make it easy. Typically, I would suggest 20 or more a day to call, but I'm going to say this, let's work on 10. So just pick 10 people a day that you know by name and they know you by name. And by the way, they don't have to be in your general area. I suggest you start out with that because those are your people that are closest to you. But no, as a real estate agent, you could actually help somebody in other states. I even know people that help people in other countries and receive referral agreements on it. So it doesn't matter what state they are. They either know somebody that's going to move to your state, or if they're going to move, they know to reach out to you and say, hey, do you know of anybody that I should be calling in my area that could help me in buying a home or selling a home? And then you could say, yes, I have some partners over there. Let me reach out and find one for you that would work best for your area. And then you start making the calls, the connections, and connect your people to someone in that area and get a referral. So it doesn't matter where they're at. They're your people. They're your sphere of influence, and they need to be contacted by you. All right, so now we're going to be entering all these people in. We're going to be calling them, setting alerts when to call them again. Next thing you know it, you're going to sit at the computer and you're going to do it again. But now you've got more people to call because your computer's going to remind you that you need to follow up with this individual. And you're going to have some of your SOA that's going to say, hey, let's meet for coffee. Let's talk a little bit. I want to learn more about real estate. So you're going to set an alert in your CRM to call them on this date to make sure you confirm the appointment for you guys to meet. This is how you get your business moving. This is how you get things tumbling. But just know, don't be that agent that just sits there and makes excuses why they're not doing their job, making contacts, calling people. But right now, most importantly, is just to start calling them and set an alert when they call them again so that things just start to happen. And then over time, you could set up smart plans. Over time, you could set up these other systems. But each day, let's focus on 10 phone calls a day. Start calling them, set an alert when they call them again, and then tomorrow do it again. This is a 5-day-a-week job. Should take you anywhere between 1 hour to 5 hours a day. I suggest keep it elevated, 4 to 5 hours a day of lead generation, and do it in the morning. Set your systems up right, which include, most importantly, making contacts.